Okay, the next thing, once you enter the salah, you are looking in the right place, you're holding the hand properly. The next thing is Dua of Istiftah, or as known as Thana. Thana or Istiftah, when you enter the salah. Now, this is an interesting subject because Malikis, they don't believe that you should do Dua of Istiftah. They say Allahu Akbar, once you enter, you should start from Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I don't know if we have covered that previous in the Qira'ah or not, I can't remember now. But you might already know, the Malikis, when they enter the Salah, they don't do Ta'awudh and they don't do Bismillah. They start from, and I remember saying this hadith that Anas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأبو بكر وعمر يفتتحون بالحمد لله رب العالمين يفتتحون الصلاة بالحمد لله رب العالمين بالحمد لله رب العالمين. And this is a muttafaqun alayhi hadith. And this hadith, Malikis took it in this way. The others, they didn't understand in that way. So the Malikis, they say that the hadith of Anas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأبو بكر وعمر يفتتحون الصلاة بالحمد لله رب العالمين, that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr and Umar used to start the salah, begin the salah with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Okay, so they say, well, if that's the case, Allahu Akbar, you should say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, knowing that the Basmala is not part of the Fatiha in the Maliki view. Yeah, and we discussed that definitely in much detail. Now, the Jamhur, they say this is not what the hadith is saying. This hadith is, according to them, is talking about Jama'ah. When Imam says Allahu Akbar, he will start Jahr, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, meaning Dua of Istiftah and A'udhu Billah and Bismillah, he will read in his heart. Or in, not heart, quietly. He will read it quietly. And then when he starts Salah, the first thing he will start with, for the public, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So that's why, except the Shafi'i Madhahib, when Imam starts, the first thing you hear, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, right? But the Malikis, and their understanding of the hadith is that it means that he's saying they used to start with that. It can be taken in that meaning. It's open to interpretation, and that's how they took it. Now, the other three madhahib, other than Maliki, they said there is a dua of istiftah, and this has been mentioned in many hadith, and many du'as are mentioned in a hadith. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his moving of bed and everything is mentioned in a lot of detail. According to the three madhab other than Maliki madhab, it is a sunnah to start your dua, the salah after takbir of ihram, you will read dua of istiftah. The Ahnaf and Hanabila, their choice, they prefer Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabarak asmuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. Now, almost every major book of hadith has this dua. Okay. The Hanabila are more relaxed. They say, you can do others as well. Ahnaf, they prefer Subhanak Allahumma. They said you may add another after it if you want. Dua of Istiftah from the Sunnah. Except in Janazah, they said you will just do the Subhanak Allahumma, you won't add anything else. But that's the preference for Hanabila and Ahnaf. And Malikis we covered. Shafi'is, even though they say you can do Allahumma ba'id bayni. And all madhahib say you can do any dua really. Allahumma ba'id bayni wa bayna khataya kama ba'adta bayna al-mashriq wal-maghrib. It's a very beautiful dua. But the preference of the Shafi'is is the ayats of Quran. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين, and then followed by إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين, or وأنا من المسلمين for the istiftah, Dua of Istiftah. There are two narrations, because Imam Shafi said that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the awwal Muslimin. So that was, in hadith there are two narrations. So they say it is more suitable for a the people after Prophet to say Ana min al Muslimin instead of saying Ana awwalul Muslimin. But nevertheless, this is narrated by Ahmad and Muslim and Tirmidhi. It's a famous, there's no objections in these. It's just preferences. Okay. If you read a fiqh book of a certain madhab, you will find one over the other, but it doesn't mean they don't allow the others. But both are allowed. Awwalul Muslimin, yeah. Also, Shafi'is, they say you should read, they prefer you read all of the Dua of Istiftah. Make it long if you are alone. Yeah, read Subhanak Allahumma, Allahumma ba'id bayni, inni wajjahtu wajhi. Read all of it. This is good. But if you are Imam, they say you should care about the congregation, not long the salah for them. Unless you are leading for someone who you are happy, you are waiting for a plane in about 3 hours, and he goes, take your time, akhi, and you, okay, no problem. Yeah. But in general, they do discourage an imam to go on a very long rakat where, but if you are alone, yeah. And even if you are munfarid, and if you don't fear the time will finish, don't long your salah if you're going to miss the time of salah. In regards to Dua of Istiftah or Thana, the opening dua of the salah, if a person joins the imam, alright, if a person joins the imam, and imam has already started to read the qira'ah, he's reading Fatiha, for example, the Quran, then those who joined late, or even someone who joined with imam but he hasn't finished his dua, as soon as a person listens to Quran, he should stop reading. Now, the Ahnaf, what do they say? They say it is fard to listen, and you won't read anything behind. You can't even read Quran, so you're not going to read dua. Hanbalis, they say it's fard to listen. You can only read Fatiha in the gaps Imam gives you. So how can you read dua? Yeah. And same with Malikis, they say if it's Jahri Salah, if the Imam is reading loud, you won't read. But if in Dhuhr and Asr, you will read. Shafi'is, obviously, their madhab is lenient when it comes to reading behind Imam. They encourage you to read it. Imam is reading Fatiha, you read Fatiha. So if you haven't read Istiftah, you just keep reading. His Salah is for him, your Salah is for you. Yeah? Now, if you find the Imam as you join the Salah, and Imam is not reading Quran, but he is in Ruku, or he is in Sajda, don't stand there reading Dua of Istiftah. As a rule, a person should not read, rather he should join the Imam, and that's in all Madhahib. If Imam is in Ruku, you don't go Allahu Akbar, then there's no need. Yeah, you join the Imam.